What if anxiety isn't something to push down or ignore, but is actually a message from your soul? I want to explore the topic today and look at anxiety as being a clue to where we're out of alignment with our true nature and how it can help us to listen to our higher self. So anxiety can be a spiritual issue when we're living in a way which is not aligned with our true nature. It can create restlessness, dread, panic, even when on the outside there doesn't appear to be anything wrong. So we could have the perfect life, the perfect family, the perfect job, perfect car, you name it. Everything could look perfect on the outside. But if what we're doing and how we're living a life isn't aligned with who we truly are on the inside, this creates conflict, and which can be expressed as anxiety. Also, the mind tries to make sense of anxiety. So when we feel anxious, the mind will hook onto something in order to explain where that feeling is coming from. So what you might find is that if you're feeling anxious and you feel that that is connected to a certain aspect of your life, when you change that aspect, the anxiety doesn't go away, but rather your mind now finds a new reason for what's causing the anxiety. And this could go on and on. You could continue making changes in your life to ease your anxiety, but find that actually you feel no different. It doesn't go away. It's not silenced, and it's as strong as ever. So where does this inner conflict come from? It can be social conditioning. So it can be the way that we've been brought up to behave, to show ourselves in the world in order to fit in order to be acceptable in society. This can cause an inner conflict because it may not be aligned with who we are. People pleasing. So when we act in order to satisfy other people rather than making choices from our own inner self, to please ourselves and to express ourselves fully in the world. And it can be fear or just kind of like survival or coping mechanisms, which cause us to behave in a certain way, which again is not aligned with who we truly are. So some simple examples are staying in a relationship which no longer serves us, staying in a job which isn't aligned with our core values, staying in a living situation which is not the best, which we know isn't the best, but we're not moving on. And some reasons why we might do this, obviously financial reasons are a big thing. It may not seem financially viable to move house or to leave a relationship or to go through a separation. It could just be laziness. It could be it's a lot of effort to make a change, but that is actually causing us to stay in a situation which isn't healthy for us. So I'm not saying that this is easy. I'm not saying it's quick. But there are many things that we can do to ease the anxiety by understanding where we're not aligned. Another clue is that when we're saying yes to something with our mind and our voice, but actually our body and our heart are screaming no. So we know consciously that we're making a choice which isn't aligned, but we're doing it anyway, maybe because it's easier or because we don't have the courage to make a change. Something we could do to understand the deep cause of anxiety is firstly to focus on it, to let it be, to still our mind, stop any thoughts associated with it, because as I said, those thoughts are not necessarily the real reason for the cause of the anxiety. But rather than focusing on thoughts, focus on the feeling. Can you locate the feeling in your body? And if you focus on that feeling, sometimes an image might come up. It could be anything. And by looking and examining that image, it might give us a clue as to the root cause of the issue. This is a method called focusing. Another way is that we could journal. So every time you feel anxious, make a note of when that's happened, and then seemingly unconnected events in our lives you could reveal a hidden theme amongst them, which again could give a clue as to where that anxiety is coming from. And a big one for me, which I love, is paying attention to dreams. So what isn't expressed in our waking life is often expressed in our dreams. So something that our dreams show us is something that's denied in our waking life. So anxiety can be a spiritual compass for us. It can be very useful. It can be a great tool for bringing about change and becoming better aligned with our true nature and fully expressing our true nature in the world. Just see it as a way of your soul calling you home. And are you going to listen?